Good day, guys. Thanks for visiting Richard's Corner. My name is Richard, and today I've got another vlog entry in response to the grocery tag video tag that my friend Carisa from All Things Frugal and Fabulous did for me. So basically, she's participating in a grocery tag video that other YouTubers have tagged her in. So I'm going to tag her. I'm going to link her video again, or her channel below in the description as a little shout out for her, again, for her continued support of my channel. And because she tagged me, I'm just sort of, putting her in the description. Technically, in this tag video, I'm supposed to tag other people. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to, because, sometimes people get tagged and then they don't do it and then whatever. So I would encourage my fellow content creators, if you do vlog a little bit, that maybe your vlog talks about these awesome little grocery tag questions, and I'm going to link, copy and paste them in the description as well. If you want to participate, you can either comment below or do your own video and encourage others to participate. So I have all of the questions on my iPad here so that it's quick reference. So I hope that the questions that I answer today sort of stir a little bit of a thought process in your brain there, or in your heart, when it comes to grocery shopping and planning meals and all this stuff. A lot of these questions are, they don't actually relate to me directly, I'm finding. So let me go through them, and you sort of be the judge as far as whether these questions apply to you or if it's something that you have thoughts on yourself. So I've got a total of 9 questions, and I hope you enjoy listening to this grocery budget tag video. Question 1, how much is reasonable for groceries and why? Well, if there's a food need in my household, I guess I gotta fill it. But I mean, we don't go too extravagant, and if I can help it, we will go with ingredients versus processed food. And it's not a health thing, it's more convenience and also cost. Some of the ingredients cost a lot less than the finished products frozen or something, but there are some things I buy processed. I will buy frozen pizza for the boys. It's pizza night for my partner and I as well on Saturdays. So I mean, it's not completely all whole foods and ingredients, but I do find that ingredients are cheaper than processed food. So I'm not really answering the question, how much is reasonable? It really varies. I don't really have a budget. I just sort of know how frugal I can be with my grocery shopping. So I don't really set a limit. I just try to go as cheap as possible without sacrificing health too much or quality. And I say too much because we do invest in snacks and stuff like that, and we munch a lot, and despite me being in decent shape and stuff like that, I still love my ice cream, I still love my chips, I still love, things that I probably shouldn't eat too much of, and I don't, but they add to my grocery budget as much as anyone else's, right? So, but I mean, I do lean towards ingredients to make food dishes. My partner does as well. We sort of have separate budgets because she cooks for herself, and a schedule, it's just the way it is. But I mean, I do a lot of cooking for us on occasion, and then she'll cook a lot of make ahead meals for lunches and stuff like that. So our budgets are a little bit separate but interrelated as well, if that makes sense. But I do try to keep it as low as possible, just because it's easier. It's just a peace of mind that we don't have to spend a ton to satisfy our grocery needs. Question 2, does the food budget depend on the cost of living in my area? In my case, not really. I live in the north end of the city of Winnipeg, and my fellow Winnipeg viewers will say, "Oh, the dreaded north end," but really, it's just an older part of Winnipeg. It's a lower income area. The housing costs a little less around here. Actually, my modest apartment, I'm paying rent that's far less than any mortgage payment. So it's it works for me. I was born and raised in this area, and it's kind of interesting that it came full circle that later in my adult life I ended up back in the north end. But does my budget, is it affected by the cost of living? Not really. Or of the area. Cost of living in the area, not really. My cost of living is actually pretty cheap compared to other people that may be homeowners or with big mortgage payments, or even renting in other areas. You can easily spend twice as much than we are right now for this 2-bedroom apartment, for a single or a bachelor suite somewhere else in a better part of the area, a better part of the city. So the cost of living in my area, I'm not sure if it really affects my budget. Even if I was living in a more expensive area, I would still keep my budget cheap anyway. And just the fact that I'm living in a frugal, like in a lower income area and paying a lower rent than I could in other areas, it doesn't really affect how I view my budget. I would still try to keep it on the low versus splurging on unnecessarily expensive ingredients or items in the store. So no, it does not affect my budget. Do I use places for bulk meat purchases like Costco and stuff? Oh no, sorry. Do I use places for bulk meat purchases? There are a couple of them here in the area that actually offer meat packs. I have not taken advantage of that myself. I've sort of wanted to, but it's $50 or $100 for some of these meat packs, and they are good value. I just didn't have a freezer for the longest time, and my in-laws were so kind. Ken and Wendy are really just like the sweetest like in-law parents that I could have, and they gave us a freezer for Christmas. So we have this nice little chest freezer for our apartment, and we've started filling it, mostly with frozen pizza, but I've got my ice cream in there and some frozen fruit for both my partner and I. And so now that we have a freezer, meat packs are actually more of an option. But before, we just had the apartment fridge and freezer, and it just won't fit enough. So all of this meat would just not fit anywhere. But I would consider it. There are a few places that do sell the bulk meat, and maybe now that I have a freezer, it'll be more of an option. Question 4, do I shop at Costco or similar stores, and do you think it raises the budget? Definitely would raise the budget, because although you are spending per 100 grams or per unit, you're spending less. You have to pay more upfront because you're not just buying one little jar of mayonnaise, for example, you're buying one big tub of it, or you're buying multiple boxes of things because that's just the way they package them. And it sometimes is perceived value. Now, between you my viewers, and I've done price comparison shopping for my own sake between going to Superstore and going to Costco and places like Costco, and the savings isn't that much better, actually, per unit, per 100 grams in some case, per box, per pound, whatever. The prices are very comparable between our real Canadian Superstore, that's what it's called, and Costco. So does it raise the budget? It would raise the budget, but would I shop there on a regular basis? I don't know if I would. In fact, I haven't renewed my membership in many, many years. So it would raise the budget, definitely. But would I personally do it for some of my needs? I don't really need to have gigantic amounts of anything. That's what keeps the budget low, is that we buy what we need and within what is roughly planned in our heads, and we just, or whatever's on sale, and then we just sort of go with it. So the Costco shopping, like wholesale shopping, would definitely raise a budget in anybody's budget. But is it good value? That's debatable. It really is. And is it saving you more money per unit? It's debatable. That's my opinion. So there you go. Question number 5. Do you coupon or shop sale flyers? I love flyer shopping. I used to coupon. And the only reason why is because I actually watched the Extreme Couponers show on TLC. It was so fascinating to see people paying almost nothing for hundreds of dollars worth of groceries. I actually really admired it. It seemed a little extreme though, because they were hoarding like tons and tons of food, but some of them were actually spreading the wealth and using their next to nothing groceries to feed the kids, like snacks and stuff like that, or to donate towards church events and stuff like that. So I thought that was actually pretty thoughtful. But there were a few couponers that were just for the sake of saving. They would just buy these things and they would store it around their place. And in my modest apartment, I don't have room for that. But I also found that the couponing doesn't happen as easily in Canada. So it's one of those things where yeah, sure, I have this 50-cent coupon, but the thing is not on sale, so I'm not really saving. And what these couponers are doing are finding things on sale, finding coupons for them, and paying almost nothing for them. It just rarely happened for me as a couponer. So I tried, but if there's one thing that I did learn from couponing is that you buy things on sale because those are the best bang for your buck, and you just sort of structure your your meal planning and household cleaning planning, I guess, or whatever, like around the things that you're able to acquire when those things are on sale. So, and I also learned also the cycles of things, like when things go on sale and how often they do, and it's really cool. It's actually, couponing really taught me a lot, but I just don't do it anymore. But I do shop for flyers, and I sort of know patterns as far as when things will go on sale and when things won't, and when things will be expensive and when they're in season and all this stuff, right? So I learned a lot from couponing, but I don't do it. But I do shop e-flyers all the time. It's instrumental. In fact, if you use Rebee, REBEE. It's a great flyer program that pulls in all the flyers for your area for that week and weekend, and you can actually click on things on the screen, and it'll actually put save a shopping list for you in the app. Really handy. So if I do search, or if I'm searching for, if I want to search for pizza and who has the best deal, for example, I can actually just search pizza, and it'll search all the flyers at once and tell me who's got the deals on pizza. That's really cool. So Rebee, that's a really good app. Anyway, flyer shopping rocks. Number 6, do I meal prep and does it save me money? No, I don't meal prep. Would it save me money? No, for me personally. And because I mentioned at the beginning of the video that it's more about how I shop. So I shop for the lowest items or lowest price items if I can, or look for whole ingredients versus finished foods. So if I buy a prepared roast, or if we buy prepared roast, it's more expensive than buying a roast and sauce, for example, right? Or frozen foods, obviously there's a lot of processing and packaging, and you pay for that, right? So, but if you buy a lot of whole ingredients, like the actual ingredients to make that food, then you're paying less for processing and more for the actual food. So I find that it's not meal planning per se, sorry, it's not meal planning per se, it's more just how I shop. That's how it works for me. Number 7, do I make weekly or monthly meal plans, and does that save money? Again, it doesn't quite apply to me because it's more about how I shop. Although, like I mentioned in the couponing question, I do sort of know when things sort of go on sale. Ish. So I usually get a rough idea that during spring, different ingredients are in season. Those are going to be cheaper than the ones that are out of season. So suddenly my mental menu of things that I want to make for that day or for that week may be different than in the wintertime when other things are in season. So I don't meal prep or meal plan formally. I just don't. I just sort of see what's on sale. It's like, okay, well, I guess I can make this and this and this, and I throw it all together and it's done, right? So it's more how I shop, not how I plan my formal meals. Number 8, have I ever tried a meal planning service? Now, a meal planning service is basically like there's two types. There's one where they can send you all the ingredients, which is really funny. So they do all the shopping for you. They send you the recipes, and you just have to prep and cook it yourself. And I've seen other planning services where they actually send you meal plans. Like, although I don't understand why you can't just sort of find it free on Google, but some people charge, I guess, more for dietary reasons, and they have custom meal plans to suit their dietary limitations and stuff like that. So I understand where that comes from. But there are tons of meal plans online, and you can just sort of Google them, and if you really need one, it's there. But I've never used a meal planning service. I'm my own meal planner, and I don't even do that formally. So it's how I shop versus how I plan my meals. And the final question, how much do I eat out, and how do I budget for that? Okay, I will confess that we eat out a lot. We eat out quite a bit. Every Friday night, there's usually an outing. Every Monday night, there's usually an outing. And then throughout the weekend, no, we usually eat in, usually the frozen pizzas. During the week, other than the Monday and Friday, probably not. So at least twice a week. At least twice a week. Sometimes there will be some evenings throughout the week when I will buy some food, like takeout food, and bring it home. And so we're eating out, but so we're just not making it from scratch. So I would say two times a week at least. And does it affect my budget? Again, my budget is a little more loose. It's more how I shop versus how much I'm spending. So long as I'm spending minimal as little as possible for my groceries, then I can afford to do a little bit of going out for us to just sort of enjoy a little bit more of a relaxed evening and just sort of take in an experience where someone else is cooking, and or sometimes they're serving us, sometimes it's just takeout. But I mean, either way, it's like we're just sort of trying to just, you know, live it up a little bit, right? I mean, eating out is not necessarily necessary, but it's out there and it's convenient. But it's also for me because I'm a foodie. I love food. I've mentioned that in some of my vlogs. Actually, I'm gonna link one right up here or yeah, it's up there somewhere. Where one of my celebration vlogs, I actually did a food tag video. So you can sort of see my taste in food, but I love food. And going out to eat gives me an opportunity to try food that I wouldn't immediately make at home. But if it's something I try and I look at it, I'm going, I can make this. I'm not afraid to try it, right? So I've gone to Freshie and they've made really cool salad for me, and I've made my own version of it. There's some really cool barbecue Korean food that I've had, and I don't know how to make it because I don't know the ingredients that they use for the marinade, but I would love to do it because it's really simple otherwise. So yeah, I find that eating out is fun, and I find that it's rewarding in that respect, but it does definitely affect the budget if I was making one, and it definitely raises it. So, well, there you go. 9 questions for the grocery budget tag video. I hope you found it somewhat useful, and if you had any comments on any of these questions, the questions are below. You can comment below, or you know what, I would really encourage my fellow content creators to please do another video, you know, add a little more content to your channel if you're a small creator like me, or if you're a veteran, you know, and you are thrifty minded, please, you know, participate. I have a lot of supporters here now, and I would really love to see more people's thoughts articulated in this medium versus just a comment below. But hey, if you leave comments, that's really awesome too. Again, it's Richard from Richard's Corner signing off for now. I'm going to wish you happy hunting and happy collecting, and hope that all of your finds, whether they're thrifty or groceries or otherwise, I hope that your finds are equally awesome. I hope you'll hit like and subscribe so that you know what is new and happening here on this channel, and please hit that little bell icon so that you are instantly notified when something new has been uploaded here. This is going to be the first of 2 videos for this Friday, so I'm going to post this up as quickly as I can, and I'm going to get another video started and post that tonight. And tonight's haul will probably be a haul video. I just let it go. It's like it's going to be a haul video tonight. So I hope that you will enjoy that. In the meantime, it's Richard from Richard's Corner signing off for now. Stay tuned for the next video today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again for visiting Richard's Corner, guys.